Charlotte, North Carolina. May 2026. 3 days before the Coca-Cola 600, NASCAR's longest, most prestigious race of the year, Kyle Busch collapsed inside a racing simulator in Concord. By Thursday afternoon, the two-time Cup Series champion was gone. 41 years old. 234 career wins across NASCAR's 3 national series. A husband. A father to Brexton and Lennox. Just gone. And then Denny Hamlin, a man who had spent years as Kyle's rival, stood up and made a promise that shook the entire sport. Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch were never best friends. For years, they were teammates at Joe Gibbs Racing, but teammates who clashed. They pushed each other. They frustrated each other. There were tense moments, heated exchanges, the kind of friction that comes when two elite competitors share the same garage. This wasn't a storybook friendship. It was complicated. Real. Sometimes messy. So when Denny Hamlin stepped up to speak about Kyle Busch after his death, it wasn't just what he said that mattered. It was who was saying it. And there's another layer most people aren't talking about yet. Denny Hamlin lost his own father just months before Kyle died. Dennis Hamlin passed away in December following a devastating house fire. Denny was already grieving when tragedy struck again, this time taking someone from the NASCAR family he'd known for 2 decades. On Thursday, May 21, 2026, the news hit: Kyle Busch was dead. The NASCAR world went silent. No one was ready. Not his team at Childress Racing. Not the 40 other drivers preparing for that same race weekend. And definitely not Denny Hamlin. His first reaction, posted on social media, was just 4 words: "Absolutely cannot comprehend this news." 4 words. But they carried the weight of someone who understood exactly what had just been lost. Within hours, Hamlin appeared on his podcast, Actions Detrimental. And what came out wasn't a polished PR statement. It was raw. It was real. It was a man talking the way you talk when something breaks through all your defenses. Denny Hamlin talked about how, early on, he thought Kyle Busch was selfish. The younger, fiery version of Kyle, the one who raced with aggression and didn't apologize for it, wasn't someone Hamlin fully understood. But then something changed. Kyle met Samantha. They built a family. Brexton came. Lennox came. And Denny watched a transformation happen in real time. "I realized he is one of the best dads," Hamlin said. "He is committed to his kids." That was the Kyle Busch not everyone got to see. Not the polarizing competitor. Not the driver who could infuriate fans as easily as he amazed them. The father. The husband. The man. And then Denny said this, and this is the part that made grown men stop what they were doing: "Obviously Samantha, Brexton, anything that they need from us or me personally, we're going to go above and beyond." He paused. Then he explained why. When Denny's own family was shattered by his father's death, when that house fire took everything, Samantha Busch was one of the first people who reached out. She didn't just send thoughts and prayers. She helped. She showed up. She contributed. "Samantha was one of the first people that helped my mom after the fire. She was able to contribute and reached out and helped us. That family is very, very caring." That's not 2 NASCAR families being polite. That's 2 families who have actually held each other up through the worst moments of their lives. And now Denny Hamlin was standing up to return that grace. A promise for a promise. The NASCAR garage did not take this quietly. Brad Keselowski, one of Kyle's fiercest on-track rivals for 2 decades, publicly mourned the loss. He talked about how they made each other better, even when they couldn't stand each other. Daniel Suarez posted a prayer hands emoji with a photo of Kyle and Samantha, writing simply, "Praying for Samantha, Brexton, Lennox, his entire family and loved ones." Drivers who had bumped fenders with Kyle, who had been on the wrong end of his aggression, were undone. On social media, NASCAR fans who spent years debating whether Kyle Busch was a hero or a villain suddenly had no argument left. There was no debate anymore. There was only grief. The hashtag #RowdyNation trended for hours. Fans from every corner of the sport shared their memories, the wins, the moments, the times Kyle made them furious, and the times he made their hearts race. And woven through all of it was something unexpected: gratitude. Gratitude for Denny Hamlin. For standing up. For speaking clearly. For not hiding behind corporate language, but for getting on a microphone and telling the world exactly what Kyle Busch meant to him. NASCAR needed someone to hold the grief. And Hamlin did it. Kyle Busch's death is being described by many inside the sport as the most significant loss NASCAR has endured since Dale Earnhardt died at Daytona in 2001. That's not hyperbole. That's the weight of 234 race wins, 2 championships, and a personality so electric it divided fan bases for 2 decades. Childress Racing now faces an enormous question: who drives the number 8 car? For Brexton Busch, Kyle's 11-year-old son already racing in Junior Series with real talent and real promise, the road ahead is unimaginable. Kyle had spoken openly about how invested he was in Brexton's career. That chapter remains. And Denny Hamlin's promise means Brexton won't walk it alone. Here's what nobody is saying out loud yet. Kyle Busch, just 11 days before he collapsed, radioed his crew during a race at Watkins Glen, asking for a doctor when he finished. He was struggling. Coughing. The G-forces were making things worse. He finished that race in 8th place. He showed up the next week at Dover. He was fighting through something he may not have fully understood was fighting back. Should the warning signs have been louder? Should NASCAR's medical infrastructure have caught something sooner? We don't have those answers yet. Maybe we never will. But here's what we're left sitting with: Kyle Busch spent the last decade of his life becoming someone even his rivals loved. He went from the most polarizing driver in the sport to the man his peers describe as a great teammate, a devoted father, and a genuine friend. And he died at 41. 3 days before the race he was built for. The promise Denny Hamlin made to Samantha Busch isn't just one friend honoring another. It's a sport trying to say, "We see you. We've got you. We won't forget." Whether NASCAR, and all of us, can truly live up to that promise, that story is just beginning. Hamlin also praised the Busch family for their courage during the pre-race ceremony at the Coca-Cola 600 on Sunday. "The family just showed tremendous courage coming to the racetrack and subjecting yourselves to being out there," Hamlin said. Great moment caught Kyle Larson's son, Owen, going up and giving Brexton a hug. It's just heart-wrenching for sure. Hamlin admitted he didn't get to see the tribute live. "I didn't get to see any of that. I was on the grid, and so where I'm at I can't see anything. I had no view of the Jumbotron there, so couldn't see any of what was going on pre-race, but obviously saw the highlights on social media." Hamlin went on to finish 3rd at the Coca-Cola 600. Daniel Suarez won the race with Christopher Bell coming in 2nd. Tyler Reddick and Kyle Larson rounded out the top 5. If this story moved you, hit that like button. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because the Kyle Busch legacy story is far from over, and the moments coming in the weeks ahead are ones you need to see.